Jamie and Ian Godfrey from ProVu Communications. Today we're going to be talking about CounterPath and specifically CounterPath Stretto platform. Just before we move forward, I just want to say that on the GoToWebinar or GoToMeeting client, you've got options to have a chat or to send questions, which is probably on the right-hand side window. So if you have any questions, any feedback, please feel free to come back to us. So I'll pass it back to Ian, who will kickstart the webinar.
Good morning, everyone. This morning we're just going to have a look through Jamie's going to give you an overview of CounterPath and the product suite. We're going to look at the sort of integration side of things, but in particular what we want to do today is give you a feel for the sort of value proposition of Stretto and the differences really between Stretto and the standard Bria client that you can download from the CounterPath store, which always seems to cause confusion amongst our resellers. A little bit about ProVu we're going to talk about. And then, as Mohammed said, there's opportunities to type any questions that you have in, and certainly we would value your feedback as well. What I'm going to do now is hand over to Jamie, who will give you an introduction to CounterPath and a little bit of background to their history. Over to you, Jamie.
Thank you, Ian. Good morning, everybody. So CounterPath then. You may know the company as the soft phone. We are a software company, but you may know us as a soft phone company. We have been around since 2002, and we were the first company to the market with any viable soft phone product. And you may also know us through our X-Lite product that's widely available. And one of the reasons we're so successful is that X-Lite product is downloaded by many people on a global basis to test their PBXs or soft PBXs against an endpoint to make sure that it does what it promises it will do. And as a result of that, we gather all of that interoperable data, and it makes us the most interoperable UC platform, not just a soft phone, in the world today. What does that really mean? It means that from a soft phone perspective, it offers a uniform and consistent user experience across any network, set against any platform, any telephone system. So MyTelevia, Cisco, it matters not. And also on any device, so that whether that be a tablet, a mobile, or a laptop, or a desktop device. So I can't sort of reinforce that enough. So what does that mean to us as people who are selling this solution? It means that we can offer a technology solution to businesses without them having to be tied to the manufacturer or the OEM anymore. So they can have the experience of UC and an IP network, free point-to-point calls, instant messaging and presence, video collaboration, and all that offers, without actually having to make an underlying technology decision. So it gives them the opportunity to realize all of those benefits and features, as I say, without having to do the major spend on the telephone system. Our other major flag to market is our BYOD, so our bring your own device policy. Anyone that's looking at that, we partner with the 4 MDM providers, Good, AirWatch, Citrix, and Mobile Iron. So that gives us the ability to put voice into an MDM environment. So any big enterprises wishing to look at and develop a bring your own device policy, which is we're seeing a lot of interest in, for obvious reasons. It cuts down massively on mobile phone bills, and of course providing and supporting endpoints for employees is another big spend for CFOs and for IT directors. So what we can do is, in that container, in the mobile device management container, we can deploy alongside of all of the other UC solutions we offer, we can put voice into that box as well, so that also becomes a secure containment. The other major flag that we have at CounterPath is our zero client story, so our VDI story, virtual desktop infrastructure environment. So we partner with Teradici, and our soft phone is embedded into the Teradici firmware chip, which puts us in a very unique position of being the only company in the world that can scale in a VDI environment. And how do we do that? We skirt around the media engine, which in effect establishes a peer-to-peer call. And what does that mean? It avoids the jitter and the packet loss on a voice call in a VDI environment. We're the first, as I said, the first company on the planet that is able to do that. We're a publicly traded company, so we're on the NASDAQ and on the Canadian exchange as well. And as I said earlier, we were the first to market with a soft phone, so we heavily influence SIP standards. Again, we're the go-to and accepted industry standard, and all of the big vendors and OEMs will readily accept that CounterPath is the global leading UC company in the world. Everybody's chasing us, and that's how we stay ahead, is we put over $1 million into our research and development. We are an engineering and development-led company. We're 80% engineers and 20% other. We focus entirely on innovation. If a customer has a problem, we have a dev team that's readily waiting to explore and get around those problems with that particular customer if need be. We have a deep, as I said, deep patent portfolio with 25 patents pending. Can we go to next, Mo? Can we go to the next slide, Mo, please? Sorry. Thank you. So, as I said, some of the reasons that why we win, why is CounterPath so successful, that interoperability across multiple vendors is the major flag in our soft phone story. We are carrier grade soft phone, which means that we're security grade standard as well, so that we can put ourselves into big key enterprise customers, but also scale towards the lower end of the market and provide a model that partners can take advantage of as well on a lower scale. Hence, ProVu are our distributor in the UK and offering this out to partners. We see the partner model, and I use the word partner particularly, not channel or VAD or VAR, because we see everybody that we work with as partners, and that means that we offer the support is another reason that we absolutely deliver. When we deliver an endpoint to a customer, not only does it work, it keeps working. So that support element that we offer and that Ian talks about a lot, as opposed to buying off the store, which means that you don't get any support apart from forum support. So you log on to a forum and put your problem into that environment, and it may or may not get answered by our team. They do a best efforts policy on that, but if you buy from ProVu, you get direct support from them, and ProVu in turn have direct access to our technical advice center, which means it raises a ticket, which gets our immediate attention. As I said, we support BYOD. Encryption is security and enterprise standards, and we've talked about MDM. So the other thing that we can do that pretty much no one else can, apart from the lower end people like Viper and things like that, is branding. Now we have the ability to completely customize and to build a completely unique and custom built binary for your customers if that's what they want. And if need be, they can remove any reference to CounterPath whatsoever. And if anybody wants that, please approach ProVu. We can have a separate discussion and we can deliver that to you. It's rather a long conversation to have, because we really need to understand what the customer is looking for and what that build will look like. But nevertheless, the message, the takeaway from that is that we can customize and build a completely unique and bespoke binary for any of your customers if that's what they'd like. You don't get that with anybody else, Mitel, Microsoft, or Avaya, or indeed anybody else. We're the only company that can do that. Can we go to the next, please, Mel? So, Stretto platform, what is it? It's our provisioning platform, which really takes all of the hard work out of delivering soft phones and endpoints from your perspective. What does it mean to you? It means that Ian and his team at ProVu, through you, order licenses from us. We deliver them to ProVu. ProVu deliver them to you. And all that really means is that you pass on a username and a password to your customers. They download the client from the relevant store, or if it's desktop, they follow the URL and just click to download. And I think Mo's going to give us a demonstration at the end and show how simplistic that is for all to use. And it really just make it very, very easy for you to deliver what we're talking about here. The other thing, as I said earlier, we really want to bang the drum about is it brings out the value of your legacy platforms. So if you have a legacy platform or your customers have a legacy platform in place, they really can fast forward to realize all of the benefits and features of an IP-UC solution, as I said, without having to make that technology decision. Can we go to the next, please, Mo? So this is just a snapshot and a flavor of just some of the people that we interop with. So devices, as you can see there, Microsoft, Linux, BlackBerry, Apple, and Android. The MDM story, so Citrix, Good, Mobile Iron. Some of our customers, either existing or not anymore, and we often coin the phrase, we're the best kept secret in the industry. And why do I say that? Because customers like Avaya, Genband, Mitel, Cisco took our product in the early days and white labeled it. So it was never CounterPath on their footprint. You could never see our name. Cisco have gone on to develop their own solution at Jabber, and so have Genband and Microsoft. Sorry, Avaya do the same. That IP Office is ours. So as you can see, there's a lot of people out there using our product, either on an enterprise or a partnership basis. No, that's fine. Thank you, Mo. Thank you. So what we're looking at here is, sorry, does somebody want to come in?
I think this is where we hand over to ourselves now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ian.
Sorry to stop you in your flow there.
No, that's fine. Absolutely.
So really just sort of looking at the sort of commercial proposition of Bria Stretto and giving you an idea of how this differs from what they can download from the store. The key thing what we've done with Bria Stretto is we've made it a channel sale, so that there is 30% margin structured in there in the basic pricing for our resellers. So you know, there's a good margin to be had on selling this Bria Stretto to your customers. One of the key things that Bria Stretto brings to you is a centralized management and configuration platform. So, and as James says, what that means is obviously the customers' experience at the end is that they download the client and it's provisioned and it works, and they're ready to make calls really simply and easily. And the other thing for you guys is it gives you control. You can see and you can manage those clients when they're out there. So you have them rather than just leaving them free to go and do whatever they want. Interestingly, when it comes to the pricing, sometimes people have said to us they feel that the pricing is a bit higher. Well, the Bria Stretto client that we supply is a fully featured client, so it includes things like the video, the H.264 video, instant messaging, presence, and Outlook integration on the desktop client as well. So it is a fully featured client, and it includes the G729 audio. And as Jamie also mentioned, you also have the backup and support of ProVu, and if we get into any real depth problems, then we have direct support with CounterPath, and we can raise a ticket. So resolution of issues is resolved usually within the same day. Okay, thank you, Mo. I'm going to hand over to Mo here, who will just talk to you a little bit about the differences between the features of Bria Stretto and the Bria 4, which everybody is familiar with. So I'll just hand over to
Right. Okay. So basically, the most common questions people ask is why Bria Stretto is different than the Bria 4. What features do we get out of Bria Stretto which is not available in Bria 4? So we've put together a small sort of comparison chart which highlights the major differences between the two. So as you can see from the comparison chart, Bria Stretto client comes with full technical support from ProVu and from CounterPath, whereas if you buy a Bria 4 standalone version from CounterPath, the best option is to get support is through forums, which is on a best effort basis. The next more major important part is cloud management. So with Bria 4, you don't have any control of the standalone version. You ask customers to download them, pay themselves. So first of all, there is no margin for you guys. You just have to ask the customers to download it, and then from the configuration guide, you have sometimes people have to spend some ages on the phone or via remote desktop session to configure it. Whereas with the cloud management part of Bria Stretto, it's pretty much all that simple. You configure everything on cloud. Associate username and password to the end user. They use that username and password, log in, and it just works. We will have a small demonstration in a minute's time, so I'll show you how simple it is to configure. Software upgrades is another bit, so you can control the software upgrades from the cloud management system. So whether you want to push cloud software updates or not, it's entirely up to the administrator of this Bria cloud. So when you buy the Bria Stretto, the software upgrades comes as part of it. So if there's a new Bria version, it will be, as long as you have the a support contract with us or with Bria, then you will get free software upgrades. Whereas if you buy a Bria 4 and then there's let's say for example Bria 5 comes along in 5 minutes time, then you will only get 30% off. So you still have to pay a good amount of money to upgrade and utilize the new features. As we explained before, Bria Stretto is a fully featured client. So it comes with video calling built in, whereas you have to pay extra amount for getting the video codecs on Bria 4. Integration again with Outlook for the Bria desktop version is included. So it just downloads the add-on and it just works. Whereas again you have to pay a certain amount of money for Bria 4 Outlook add-on. Presence and messaging is included in both versions, so that's a major common feature in between them. Again, the most important feature is inclusion of G729 codec in Bria Stretto, and it is included for all different variations, whether it's a mobile, desktop, or a tablet. Whereas again, you have to pay extra for Bria for G729 codecs. Ordering system is pretty much straightforward. When you buy a Bria Stretto from us, you have your own reseller account, which is tied to a domain name, and you can have subdomains for your customers as well. What that means is if you're reselling it to another reseller channel, for example, they may want their own domain name to show up. And domain name is important because that's the domain name part of it is something end user will use to log into their Bria Stretto client. Again, I'll show you in a demonstration in a minute's time. And another bit is you can basically stock the license in your Bria in your account, and which can be immediately used for allocating to the customer. So delivery to customer could be fairly quick if you already have a stock licenses in your port. Provisioning is another important feature. So centralized provisioning handled in one place, as you can see. So all licenses are basically on your centralized provisioning system. And if somebody comes along and they want to buy one license, then you just allocate them, configure them, and you're good to go. You can provision all the SIP details directly from our online provisioning system, which is, we call it Process. So it could be, if you already own licenses and you want to provision the user without going to Bria Stretto client, then you can put the user details on Process and it will automatically allocate or create a user for you on your system. So it's easy. It's quite easy to push the provisioning details to the customer as well. So you create a user on Bria Stretto and send an email from within the Stretto client. So easy provisioning of the client. So what it makes it is it makes it fast, easy to configure. It minimizes error because it is only one person or one part of the team who are administrating the whole process. And obviously, because the administrators know what they're doing, it just makes the customer experience very efficient and very, very fast in that terms as well. From the management point of view, it is easy to control. So you have full control of your soft client, like your normal IP desk phones are. You can manage, you can move, you can change settings in sort of real-time environment. And if somebody leaves, you can reassign the licenses when a staff leave as well. So that's another important bit. If somebody leaves, you can just delete the account and recreate an account for another customer, for another staff, and it's ready to go. It can also create templates for quick deployment. So if you have multiple SIP accounts or hosted systems or PBXs, you can create multiple different SIP accounts, maybe where you have same SIP details for PBXs. So you can have different SIP trunks templates, and you can assign them for whichever SIP trunk customer wants to go to. So it makes it very easy to develop, deploy as well. Support, you can view all your licenses basically from within the cloud management system. You can make all changes, you can delete accounts, you can do all sorts of management bit from it. If there is the Bria Stretto client has a built-in support client in it. So the important bit is if your customer starts to have issues or problems with the Bria client, you can just ask them to go in the support section, click a button, replicate a problem, click a button, and that will send, the client will actually send or upload the debug files or troubleshooting files to Bria Stretto client. And you can view them yourself, and you can find out whether it is something to do with interconnection, it is something to do with your net transversal or whatever. So it can give you troubleshooting. It makes life easy when it comes to troubleshooting, because you have access to the support and troubleshooting information. And again, you can control the upgrades. And because this version is a commercial version, you get faster technical support from us, ProVu. If unfortunately we are unable to help, we have direct relationship with CounterPath, and they can jump in and help you with the support as well. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of Bria, how it is set up and how it is easy to configure. So basically, if you can see on the screen, just bear with me 1 second, please. So bear with me 1 second while I fix this. Screen. Right, so when you buy any licenses from us, basically we will create a user on Bria Stretto client. And what that means is you will be given login details for the screen web GUI on what you see on the screen. You will have something like provu.co.uk, or maybe your domain name as username, and you will have your password. So once you logged in, you will see something like this, which basically means you are logged in, and this is over on Stretto client. So you can see we have 100 different customers under our main domain name, which means basically you can create your own domain name. So we have ProVu, and under ProVu we have different customers. So I'm just going to go to our main ProVu domain name, and you can see we have different multiple domains under there. So what I'm going to do is quickly show you how easy it is to configure or create an account. So I'm just going to get rid of one of them. So from the configuration point of view, what you do, pretty much straightforward. You create a new user. It gives you option here what to do with it. I'm just going to create a new user, which is Mohammed Bajwa. And as you can see, the domain name will be allocated to that user. I can create any password for this. So this main bit is the username and password, which I will be emailing over to the end user so they can log in to the Bria Stretto client. So once you have created the user, what I'm going to do is quickly, I'm going to just use authorization name, which is my SIP details. So these are all the SIP details I need to put in. So I'm just going to quickly put on the details. And I'm not going to do any more changes because it's pretty much straightforward. Obviously, if you have your XMPP account, you can configure it here as well. So what I do is click Save. It's created me an account, as you can see. And what I'm going to do now is open our Bria Stretto client. Which is taking time. So Bria Stretto client, as you can see, the looks are different as well. It's not a standard Bria 4. So when you install it, first of all, it's free to download. But once you install it and running, you've got this option. So it asks for a username and password, and you can't do anything without that username and password. So I'm just going to use the username I've created online system. Okay, that's not going well for some reason. Let me try and change the name to Mohammed B. It shouldn't just generally, oh right, there you go. So it generally doesn't take time, but we have a hiccup. But basically what it is I've logged in, and you can see on the screen, I'm logged into my extension 4002 on the Bria client. Another important bit is if you go to your account settings, you can see all these accounts have been blocked out. The end user, even though they have access to it, they won't be able to make any changes. They can't delete it. They can't edit any settings. So that gives you another management advantage for the customer as well. So, so you've seen it is that simple to get it configured and up and running. Obviously, without I had a hiccup, but it's that simple when you get it configured. And that's really it, really. So I will go back to my demonstration slides. And then I'll pass it back to Ian to finish our provided with the commercial propositions.
Okay, thanks Mo. So hopefully that's given you a feel for Bria Stretto and the management and how it all works. The good thing about it, obviously, if your resellers are ProVu, then basically you can just order the licenses through ProVu, and it just go against your normal credit account. So ordering from ProVu is just going to be exactly like ordering any of the IP phones or any other hardware that you order from ProVu. You can place orders for the licenses via Process. If anybody doesn't have a username or password for Process, then they can just email contact@provu.co.uk and just request one, and we'll set that up for you. Licenses are processed pretty quickly. We normally turn them around within about 3 or 4 hours. So, but if you're placing your order and you've promised your customers a quick delivery, we can usually manage that, and it's certainly same day. There is also a support charge, a small support charge that applies to each license. Jamie, do you just want to cover a little bit about what the support charge covers on the Bria Stretto?
Sure. The most important thing I think to mention here is that when you take a client, what CounterPath does is the operating system, whether it be Apple or Google or whoever the OS is we ensure that when they deliver an upgrade or a release, that your device, your customer's devices, the solution is ready to take that release. If you don't take the element of that support, the device, the solution that you're offering very quickly becomes out of step and out of date with the OS, which in the best case scenario it becomes not a great experience for the end user, and worst case scenario, of course, it stops working altogether. And we, as I said earlier in the beginning, our development and engineering team make sure that one of the reasons we are so good at this is that we stay ahead of the game, so that if you're delivering to your customers, not only does that device work when it's delivered, it keeps working. And that's really important for somebody, that they don't have this disconnected and disjointed user experience no matter what device or network or platform they're on. And we're always ahead of the curve. So we deliver we get the device, the solution ready to take the upgrade and the next stage before it's actually made GA and released to the general public. That's the main element of our support, apart from the stuff that Ian mentioned about if there are any issues, they're very quickly resolved.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Jamie. So really, just in summary then, the ProVu sales team are here to help. CounterPath are here to help. The Bria gives you guys control, gives you management, gives the user experience a much slicker, much easier solution. And I hope that this presentation has given you a bit of a feel for the advantages and enable you to sort of answer that question as, well, why should I buy a Bria Stretto as opposed to Bria 4? Obviously, if anybody has any questions or any queries, then we'll be happy to answer those. Mo, I think there might be a question.
Yeah, so I've got a question where a customer is asking if there's a way to integrate a Bria Stretto with a free PBX module. Yes, it is possible. Unfortunately, we've not got it to work yet. So we are working together with CounterPath to get it to work, and eventually, once it's working, you will be able to provision your Bria clients directly from the free PBX system. But at the moment, it's not possible. But we are looking for solutions. So hopefully, we'll come back to you about that shortly as well. Again, if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to ask. You still have a chat box on the right-hand side of your window. I do have another question, which is about domain names, which I think Jamie has already answered. But the question is basically, can we still define the full original login details? So yes, you can have your own. First of all, you can have your own domain name as a user part for logging in. If you want to have a different domain name maybe for your customers, then yes, as long as the domain name belongs to your customer, you can provide us with that domain name, and we can create a subdomain for you. So the customer, when they logs in, they use user@abc.com, which is their own domain name, which is easy to remember as well. So it's all part of the same management system.
And just one other thing to mention, if anybody wants to have a trial of Bria Stretto, then just let us know, and we can set up some trial accounts for you. Our details are there on the screen, so please drop us a line, and we'll be happy to sort of talk about it further and set you up with any trials. So I think that's about it, unless anybody else has got anything else.
I've got another question which is about other codecs supported. Well, it does support all the basic codecs, which is G711, G711AU, G722, G729, GSM. So if you have any specific question about the codecs, you've got my details on the screen. So just pop me a quick email, and then I'll be able to answer the exact question as well. But it does support all the codecs which are already on Bria 4 or as well as the add-ons.
I can make a full list available to anybody who wants it, Mo, of codecs that are supported.
Yeah. So as Lisa asked about the pre-PBX module, it is already available, but at the moment it only works with online store, Bria online counterpart store, which gives you some different login details than what we get. So that's what we are working at the moment. Once we have the correct login details for the free PBX module, you will be able to configure it within free PBX.
Question just came up from Neil, I think, Mo. I'm not sure. He said, "Are you not getting my messages?" Are you there, Neil? Because I'm not seeing. That's the first message I've seen from Neil.
Right. Okay. So Neil is asking, can we have this interacting with the screen pop-up solution? It depends on what sort of pop-up solution you're referring it to. Jamie, do you have any more details about, on this pop-up screen issue?
I'm not sure what Neil is referring to. Does he mean screen share, or what exactly does because the client pops when a call enters, when the client becomes active, so it does pop onto the screen. Is that what he means, or I think we just need to dive a bit deeper on that one? Yes, I think, okay. He's saying
so he's going to just send us a quick email, so we'll talk about it in
perfect. As long as we can understand what he means, then
yeah. Right. I think that's about it. Oh, he's got another question.
That's all right. That's what we're here for.
Just wait for him to...
Don't be sorry, it's fine. The only question you don't, it's the stupid question, is the one you don't ask.
Right, so his question is...
yes.
I don't think it does, but I'll let Jamie answer that question.
That's a good question, and one I don't have a ready answer for, I have to be honest. I will check with our engineers, because we have some clever signaling that does allow, for example, we can talk across a network that blocks voice because it doesn't recognize the voice signal with what we term as VPN tunneling, so it sections off. Whether that works in countries where SIP access is blocked, I'm not entirely sure. I think that's another one we need to take offline. So if you've got a specific question about a specific country, we can definitely deep dive and answer those questions very succinctly. But we don't have any customers in Pakistan that I'm aware of at the moment, but we can certainly look at that, and we'll get you an answer very quickly.
Right, I think that's about it from today from us. I hope it was useful information. Again, if you want to get in touch with us or Counterpart, you've got the contact details in front of you, so email us, phone us, whatever you like, and then hopefully we'll try to answer any more questions, any more inquiries. So that's it. Thank you for joining in. Hopefully we'll speak shortly.
Thank you. Thanks for all your questions.
Thanks, Jamie. Cheers then.
Bye.
Bye now.